Hello, my name is Spencer Detweiler, aka Blackacre, and I'm doing a live Banlist reaction. The Banlist just came out, and I have some familiarity with the game now, so I just like to give my thoughts, reacting to new information here. Going forward, I do have a job coming up, but I would like to do the same thing that my good friend Joseph Rothschild, aka MBT, used to do, which is he printed out the ban list during his break at work and read the ban list while taking a video. I think that's really cool. I like to see that continue in some way, so may as well be me. But right now I'm reacting from my bedroom because I'm working remotely. So this is the forbidden and limited list that will go into effect on December 1st, 2022. Just for some context, we are currently in a tier 0 format where a Shizu tier limit is kind of the only thing worth playing. People have debated whether or not this is a bad thing. The format is really fun and skill intensive, but it's also really expensive and people can't play their pet decks. So what do I expect from this? Honestly, I don't know. Probably some kind of indirect hit to tier limit Ishizu. The tier limit cards and the Ishizu cards are both extremely new, but there are some cards presumably on the fringes that would help, like cards that are older that are being used in those decks. I don't know what they would be though. Also, please, Mystic Mine. Finally, let's ban Mystic Mine. Okay, let's take a look. Starting with the main deck cards. Maxi is still banned. Curious the Lightsworn Dominion banned. That is definitely a hit at tier limit. This was an insane card. It's a Link 3, pretty much a generic Link 3 that lets you Beatrice anything. And then Mill 3 on top of that. It's an incredible card in a deck that loves milling things like any tier limit adjacent strategy. So they are indirectly hitting a Shizu tier by hitting older cards around it, as I was expecting. Also, we got the Link section for that. So main deck monsters and fusion monsters, no bans. That's the only Link ban. Chaos Ruler is still banned. My darling, he did nothing wrong. Please, let him come back. That's the only monster. The only monster banned is Curious. Now, let's take a look at the spells. Come on. Mystic Mine! They finally banned Mystic Mine! Oh my god! They did it. They banned Mystic Mine. This was a lot like what happened with True King of All Calamities, aka VFD. It was like the one card that everyone wanted to be banned in December 2020. It barely escaped being banned as everything else around it got hit, mostly everything, and then it was the target of the next ban list in early 2021. Looks like they're doing a similar thing here. Finally, Mystic Mine gone. Rest in piss. You will not be missed. I might actually have to play this format now, which is this is gonna be a very intimidating format, but like, now that Mystic Mine's gone, I am genuinely interested in this game. I've been playing mostly Master Duel where Mystic Mine is banned. Let's take a look at anything else. Any traps? No. So the only two bans were Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion, and Mystic Mine. I love it. You love to see it. There were some other things that I maybe would have liked to see hit, but like, that was before the Ishizu stuff came out. Like, those things, like Flunder stuff, Runic stuff, has all been eclipsed. And Ishizu tier limit is still going to live in the wake of this. I'm certain of it. They didn't need Curious. And if I'm wrong, sound off in the comments. But this is a way of, mitigating the deck without actually killing it. Based on this, I still kind of expect it to be a tier 0 format, but let's move on to the limits to see if anything crazy was taken off. Herald of Orange Light to 1. Okay, that's another Ishizu tier limit hit. you would just get a monster to gate for free because your hand was constantly full of these fairies. And you'll still have one in Ishizu tier, but you'll only have one. This is also kind of a Drytron hit, but in the Drytron decks that I play, we really only use one copy of Herald of Orange Light. So this isn't an issue for me. This is really another shaving off the edges of a Shizu tier limit. Again, the deck is still going to be insane in the wake of this because it's the tier limits and the Ishizu cards that are busted and they were too new, but this does take the edge off a little bit. Let's see, anything else? No more main deck cards, no. And that's it. The only thing, so nothing from ban to 1, no other limits in any way, shape, or form, just Orange Light. This is a very, very targeted list at exactly Ishizu tier limit and Mystic Mine. And again, I don't think it'll be enough to knock Ishizu tier out of the meta or even out of its tier 0 status. Like worst case scenario, it might be like that high tier 1 thing like Dragon Ruler, where people constantly actually over whether or not it technically counts as tier 0, and I am one of those people. Let's see about the semi-limited list. Recital Starling to 2. Recital Starling, this basically, I mean, I know that Simwork is still banned, but like, if you were playing any kind of Bird Up or Bird Up adjacent deck in 2021, maybe dust those cards back off, put in some new staples. This is great. And I love seeing old strategies, you know, taken off the ban list a little bit when they can be, just because those are cards that people already have, so more people can play decks without spending a lot of money on them. That's what I care about a lot. As for this, oh my goodness. Okay, Tellarknight Tomias. I have never read this card before in my life, so let me just take a look at this real quick. Once per chain, you can attach 3 Xyz materials. It's a rank up, and a turn skip. But you have to attach so many materials to it. What was it at? It was at 0. Went from 0 to 3. Oh my god. That is huge. But I'm not sure if this will do anything. It's a humongous commitment. 3 material attached to do a rank up, which going into a rank 5 it could matter. 7 materials attached to do a turn skip. I don't see that happening consistently, so sure. Dimensional Fissure and Macrocosmos. This is counterplay to a Shizu tournament, so another hit at them by enabling more graveyard interaction. I think this is pretty cool. I wouldn't have liked this a lot when I was still playing the Punk Zombie list, which requires graveyard interaction, but if the best deck is a Shizu tournament, you know, this represents counterplay, but counterplay that only really works on the play. It's not like D-Shifter. The thing I don't like about these cards is that if you're not playing a deck that can play under D-Shifter, you can set up your whole board and then activate at the very end. I never liked that about either of these cards, which is why I kind of like that they were at 1. But I guess in a metagame focus on a Shizu tournament, that's not as much of an issue. And oh my goodness, now instead of 1/1, you could play 3 Dimension Fissure and 3 Macrocosmos, in addition to like Mass Hero Dark Law stuff that you could do. I'm in shock about this, and it'll be really interesting to see what people who know more about the game than I do think about this. Tanky to 3, you know, if you're putting Recital Starling to 3, Tanky is also something I would imagine you'd want to put at 3. It was semied. You know, if you were a Bird Up adjacent player in 2021, dust off your decks. This is a great time to be alive. And finally, Metaverse to 3 with Mystic Mind gone. This is completely okay. So, final thoughts. I'm sorry I rambled. This is already 10 minutes long. I did not need this to be 10 minutes long, but final thoughts. This is definitely a very targeted list. Even the unlimits are targeted hits at Ishizu tier, which makes sense because it's the only deck in the format right now. But I really hope that this doesn't make the format any more skill-intensive and interactive. What I don't want to see is a Shizu tier limit give up space to decks that just set up floodgates and do nothing else. But the Mystic Mind hit means maybe that might not happen. And again, if you played Bird Up in 2021, this is a great day to be you. That's all. Free Chaos Ruler, he did nothing wrong. This is Blackacre signing out.